I'll go.
Did you close up? Did you leave the meeting?
Yeah.
Oh. There you go. Just do a video. Yeah. Just X out of that.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Ready to go, sir?
No. I clicked.
How do they keep closing out on you like that? Continue. Had a right turn lane. Got it. So you got it. Okay, now, here you go. Now. It goes in the braking circle.
Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and get the meeting started. It's, around 1:09, 1:10. So the first, item is, approve the minutes from, April 22nd at the RTC meeting.
Hey, Randall, it's Ryan Lipke. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Can't hear you, Randall.
Shouldn't matter. Right. Can you hear us now, Ryan?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that technical difficulties. So we already have a motion to approve the minutes from Ryan and seconded by, Judge Ison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's, with the agenda item, 2 is, on public comment period, agenda item 3.
Yeah, so this is Greg Burris, I'm the Community Outreach Specialist. We did not receive any public comments beforehand. There are no public comments on, the YouTube chat either.
All right, thanks, Greg, for that, report. The county transportation updates, I don't see anybody from Henry on here or in the room, so I'm gonna go with, Shelby County, Judge Ison or Craig. Go ahead, Craig.
53 project still coming along, full speed. They're mainly working on lighting and, traffic signals at US 60 and the other intersections. Working on putting one side of the bridge in over the railroad. The county, we are basically mowing and cutting trees still. Doing a little patching work, and that's about all. Contractors are gearing up to pay some resurfacing in the county.
All right. Ryan, you have anything?
I don't have anything, Randall.
Okay. Spencer County? Jim?
Yeah, everything's going smooth. We're mowing and everything right now. We did have a pretty good gully washer a few nights ago, and on Highway 1169 Normandy Road. We had about 5 4-inch culverts to almost completely wash out. And I know Keith King from the Highway Department has marked those for replacement. They were due to be replaced anyway, so I think just kind of rushed it up a little bit. But other than that, we're doing good.
All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that report. I don't see anybody on here from Trimble County, so we'll go to the next agenda item, which is the Kentuckians for Better Transportation update. I'll give you a report on that. Right now, the transportation bill has been approved through the Senate. That was back in end of July, and now it's still it went to the House. I don't know where it is on the House side of things, but just wanted to keep you updated on that. That's $66 billion worth of rail, $39 billion worth of public transit, and $110 billion worth of roads and bridges, and $55 billion for water and wastewater infrastructure. That totals $1 trillion infrastructure package throughout the United States. That's all I have on Kentuckians for a Better Transportation update. Greg, we'll go to the next agenda item, which is the prioritization of regional boosts and allocations. Before we get into that, I want to kind of give you a background. This is a report that I will be turning into the Transportation Cabinet of all the meetings we've been having on SHIFT, which is the Strategic Highway Investment Formula. So, Greg, if you want to scroll down a little bit. And I'll need a motion and approval on this. All the ads are doing this across the state, and this is basically all the meetings that we had for RTC, District 5 boost meetings, sponsorships are all on here. And I will be turning this in this week, and we'll be boosting 10 projects after this. So I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of this draft final plan that I'm going to turn into KYTC. So I will need a motion and approval on this.
Will this be impacted by the change you and I talked about?
No.
Need a motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll motion.
Judge Ison's a motion to approve. We just need a second on this.
Jim Travis, second.
Thank you, Jim. Everybody say aye.
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 The motion's been approved. Thank you. Greg, if you want to go to the projects. So this is the projects, the 32 projects in Henry, Shelby, Spencer, and Trimble counties. A total of 32 projects. These are the ones that District 5 have sponsored, and KIP, the Regional Transportation, has sponsored. KYTC District 5 just had their sponsorship meeting, or their boost meeting last Monday, and I have put the ones that they have boosted on there. So we will need to go through this list and come up with 10 projects to boost with them. The shift scores are on there that were calculated through the Transportation Cabinet. I've provided those on there. So I'm thinking 2 per county that we need to look at as far as boosting, and we can double boost with the Highway District 5 office. But before we do that, I want to give District 5, they were going to go through this list and give a project update on these projects that are in the shift process. Larry or Tom, could you give that update?
Yeah, this is Tom Hall, and there's 30 some projects on the list. So I'm not quite sure if we want to go through all of these projects. If that's the way we want to roll, we can do that. Um,
Well, Tom, before I get started, if you get started on that, the ones I've highlighted are basically the ones when we had the local meetings. I've kind of made suggestions to the committee of the 8, and then we could have 2 wild cards that they can pick from. But I just wanted to let you know what those yellow lines are. And I talked to Judge Ison, and he wants to change one of them to the.
Let me clarify on that one on Brunerstown. I've got a new industry going in there. It's gonna be about a $700 million project, and I've got the state looking at an access road that they're looking at funding. I don't know if that would fit in under that. That's one of the reasons why the change to 49. 49 is a critical one, but I can't lose this Brunerstown with all that's gonna happen out there, and I'm sure it's probably where the state is. So I kinda got mixed emotions. I've gotta have Brunerstown, but I gotta have 49. So I'll let you continue on.
Okay.
So these scores on the right-hand side, these are the scores with the decimals. Those are the scores that came out of the shift process. They came out of the computer process.
That's over here.
The 15 additional points are those points that have been assigned to it by the Highway District's office for their boost. So we have the opportunity to boost, double boost, as Randall mentioned, or we can boost other projects too, okay? So double boost gives, we boosted this one right here, we'd have 32.2 that came out the black box, KYCC scoring system, plus the 15 that the district's already applied, plus 15 more potentially. So that project 62 score would be ranked against projects regionally. Regionally, in this case, means Hamilton Cabinet is called the North Region, Districts 5, 6, and 7, so Louisville area, Cincinnati area, Lexington area. So it's a real competitive region to say the least.
And to move, Brunerstown in the wrong spot, I've got a new, could be up to 1.5 million square foot of storage up at that Brunerstown, which is gonna call for a whole new intersection. That is not a part of the other $700,000 project I got going, so my mistake on interpreting that.
Okay.
Randall, I cannot see that one, but, the Brunerstown we're talking about, is that south of Gordon Lane?
It's one,
I can't read the description.
it says the project will consider a right turn on South Kentucky Highway 55 and the traffic signal.
That should be Old Bruner, that's Old Brunerstown Road.
Okay.
Yeah, is that the one you wanted, or you wanted the 43?
It's what we,
That's what we're trying to debate.
Okay.
which one is that?
And right now, we just got Shelby and Spencer on here, so.
Well, what I'm getting at, is that going back to Martin Maria?
Yes, that is.
Yes.
And then we're supposed to get a signal there and
Yes.
a big turn lane,
Right.
okay? What the judge was talking about also, there's a project in the mill to extend Old Brunerstown to the west to tie into Joy Station Road.
Right,
That's gonna create a whole new 4-way intersection on 55.
right. Does District 5 know, aware of that?
Yes, it should be. I know district office, or central office is.
Central offices? Okay.
Yeah,
Ryan Lipke may know more about this.
yeah, our chief district engineer, Matt Bullock, is aware of it, and he has mentioned to us that the access road would be some sort of industrial road type funding, not really highway plan funding. And that's why it's really not a part of the shift process. So it's not really competing in the same type of fund for the same type of funding. And I wanted to mention the Old Brunerstown Road intersection. Our traffic folks appear to be committed to finding funding to put in a traffic light, but not the turn lane portion of the project. So what we're really rallying for with this project at Old Brunerstown Road is for really more the turn lane. Our expectation is that the traffic light will go in at some point in the next couple years, but the turn lane isn't funded. This project, if it was going to go through the shift process and get in the highway plan, would be funding for the actual turn lane.
Okay. So Greg, if you want to scroll up to Henry County first, Judge Brandt, he's talked about 146. So I would suggest boosting both of those segments, and that would be his two for Henry County. Since he's not here, I've talked to him, Jared's talked to him. So if the committee's okay with those, that's 2 of our 10 to boost.
What routes are those?
What's that?
What routes are those for Henry?
146?
146?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From Sligo to Castle. So those 2 for Henry County, and if you want to scroll down to Trimble County.
Should be on now. He just texted, I think he might be.
Okay. See you on here?
No, he was on his.
I am here, gentlemen. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's okay, Judge. So we're boosting these projects, and we have 10 to boost. So I was suggesting to the committee maybe taking 2 out of each county to boost as far as their priorities.
Yes.
And we can go in together with District 5 if we want to double boost these points. So the scores are on so Judge, I know you're 12, US 421 and 1226.
Right.
Scored a 22 in shift. The district boosted that 15. It's in the highway plan.
Yeah.
You want to add another 15 to that project? That would be the double boost.
Yeah, I would, but I will tell you, Randall, isn't it?
Yes.
The project just below that, where it talks about improved safety, truck mobility
Yes.
along Highway 36 and US 421. If that's where it comes, it's like a 90-degree turn. And at one time, someone told me that project was going to be a little harder to do because of that building that sits there in the corner, and it is on the historical registry. However, I talked to the owner of that building, and he says he would tear that thing down in a heartbeat if we could get a better turning lane there, because of all the congestion that comes along with the tractors and trailers that go through there. So, I mean, I do want that turning lane there at 1226 and the turning lane at the high school, but I really kind of feel like that next project's more important. Does that make sense?
This is Tom Hall with KYTC District 5, and I just wanted to give you a little perspective on where we're at.
Okay.
Those two projects that are highlighted in yellow are intersection improvement projects that we've already partially funded, and like design is underway on both of them, and they're smaller type projects. And so our as a bunch of engineers, our vision is to just keep working on what we know we can finish, rather than start something new. But the Kentucky 36 90-degree intersection project would be a close third if we weren't already working on those intersection jobs. But that's why we boosted those two projects, because they're already smaller, underway type projects, especially the Trimble County High School turn lane project, because it's Governor Beshear has a real interest in projects nearby schools. And so that thing's got a lot of momentum right now. But so I just wanted to give you a little idea where we were at. But that our third place project was in fact that 90-degree turn. And if Trimble County boosted that, that's a good, we agree that's a good project. We just we have a limited number yeah, opportunities to boost projects with 15 points.
Right.
But and I just would throw in that there's a historic building that needs to be not there.
Yeah.
If we start a project with federal funds, we're going to be bound by having to deal with a historical process, which is very lengthy and involved. But if that building was gone before our project began, that would be helpful. But I don't know that can happen.
I can help facilitate that.
I don't know anything. Well, you know where I'm at.
Yes, I do. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for telling me that, Tom, because that's
Okay.
gonna. All right. Well, then, and Randall, I guess I will. Yeah, go to boost the turning lane there, 1226 and 421.
And you still want, and the turn lanes up there in the high school too?
Absolutely, please.
Okay. All right, so I got those two. So we got Henry and Trimble counties taken care of. Scroll up down to Spencer real quick. Now Judge Riley's not here, but he told me his two were Jim to 2+1 there on Kentucky 55 and 155, Taylorsville, and then the Kentucky 44 project at Dutchman's Creek.
Yeah, we talked about it, and the 2-1 road project on Taylorsville Lake Road, I assume that is already, the design has already been let out on that. Is that correct?
Is that correct, Tom?
Yeah, that's correct. The design is advertised and the contract is just getting started.
Okay, so that 2+1 road on 155, that would take care of the two intersections. The next one down at Goebel and Hostrasser Lane. That it would take care of both of those at the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the logic we used, is that since we as KYTC supported the 2+1 road project because it's underway and funded. The other projects are not, and we do anticipate them being within the scope of work of the 2+1. So you're right; they'd probably get some improvements as we did the larger corridor.
Okay, well, we're okay with those two then.
Okay. I'll go back to Shelby County. Greg, you scroll up. Judge, what two do you want? I know we talked about it. We just talked about
Well,
it.
I've got to have that traffic light. It's just a have to. And, well, I'd like to have 49 put in there. I'll back off a bit.
43?
I mean, 43.
Yeah.
Hey, Randall, I would like to make a comment about the project 5-8713, which is the US 60 from the Masonic Home to Rocket Lane. You'll notice that's called committed, and typically committed meant it was definitely going to get some kind of highway plan funding, or most likely going to get some highway plan funding in the next highway plan. But we've learned that the word committed doesn't quite mean that these days. So that, and we were instructed that if we thought it was an important project, we need to consider boosting it. And that is in fact what the highway district did. This project is, we know is important to Shelby County. And we also know that we've been out there and acquired most of the right of way and are looking at moving utilities. And so this thing's well underway. So that's why we boosted it. So even though it's committed, we've been instructed that if it's important to you, you might want to throw your boost that way. And I don't mean to make it add another horse to the field in Shelby County, but I feel like that it's our obligation to let you guys know that.
Tom, this is Craig. Is this project going to include sidewalks or not, since the governor's pushing for school safety? I know
Nah.
20 years ago it had the sidewalks in it, but last year we talked about it and they warned it.
The design does not include sidewalks.
Then I'm not going to support it.
So Judge, the Shelby County, 2 projects right now that you got,
Yeah.
is
Return on.
is the turn lanes at 43?
Right.
Okay. Do you want the 55X too?
Is that the, 5 lane from 43 to the bypass?
It's going up from the intersections of US 60 up
US 60 up to
Yeah.
43.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So that brings us up to 8, projects that we've already, so we got 2 in each county, and we just need 2 more to boost. Any suggestions?
What about the 7 Mile Pike over to US 60?
It's on here, Craig.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah.
Traffic from.
Would you guys want to give those two other, projects to Shelby County?
It's number 40.
Can I get sidewalks out of this some way for that Masonic home?
I like to give you sidewalks, but I'm not the District 5 office.
Okay, District 5, help me out. How do I get the sidewalks?
Well, the project was designed a long time ago when there wasn't necessarily a need indicated for sidewalks. And so we went out and bought property based on that and relocated, in the process of relocating utilities based on that design. So to go back and redesign and restart the right-of-way process and, redo all that would be complicated, and slow things down. The approach we've used in the past is that, the highway district office, doesn't really hand out funding. But what we can do is provide a cost estimate to local officials, and then local officials can take that to the legislature or the governor or the secretary and say, hey, if we can add this much money to the project, we can get a project that we all would really like to have that would suit our needs. That it would be an approach. I don't know that. I don't know where we're at in that process. I don't know if the county's ever approached the district office and asked for an estimate for that kind of work. But that's an approach. Other ways could be to piggyback on top of this project with like some TAP funds or something, and try to apply for TAP money to build a sidewalk on this road based on the plan set that's the roadway plan set. And right now, for example, TAP is doing a call for projects, and that's something to consider. And that's not a bad idea.
Well, Tom, I never like to dig my heels in on something, and if I can get a little help from you, then I'll step away from this. No, I'm not going to support it attitude, but I need some help from you on this.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not the guy that hands out money. I mean, I hope you understand that. But I do try to see where money is and how to, leverage it and use it. That's an approach. We would, tap this. State DOTs can't use TAP money directly. It requires a local government to apply for the money. So what we could, conceivably help with an application and see where that goes. It's not really a bad idea. Shelby County would probably have to be interested in sponsoring a project to do that. And then we'd have to see how it landed in the application process.
Well, if we can figure out how to get a estimate on the cost and stuff, I don't mind going and lobbying the House for this money. I spent all my life as a lobbyist, so lobbying doesn't scare me. What scares me is coming up with the preliminary drawings, the figures, those kind of things that you all could help me with. Then you give me the tools and I'll run with it.
Yeah, and that's not really my area. Tracy Levels, our project development branch manager, and he's the guy I think you would approach. Him and Pat Matheny's our design supervisor, and those two guys really would be able to, come up with probably some general cost estimates, or they might assign it to our group, but more likely because they're so familiar with the plan set, they could probably come up with some kind of cost estimate, and you could work it from there. But that's making a direct request to those guys, and I for some reason I feel like that's already been done, but I'm not that familiar with the details.
Well, I'll work with Kip on this.
Yeah, Tom, this is Andy. Randall and I we'll do the best of our abilities and make sure we make that happen.
Okay.
I'll echo my objection on that.
So which two Shelby counties should we mark yellow as the top two Shelby County projects? I guess that's still, is that back on the table?
43 and 55.
Yeah, we already did those two.
Okay.
We just need to, if nobody has any objection, I'd like to give two others to Shelby County.
No objection on my part.
So we don't need the boost that, the proposed route? I mean, it's fourth, my sheet is fourth from the top, I don't have your sheet.
Cause I know
It's,
your guys' project scored well in the SHIP process.
it was like IP 201, 3007.
Yeah. Is that
Can you mark the next grade?
Is that 43 in there?
So we're these three right now, is what we're sitting at right now.
No,
It's just, it's,
the second one down needs to be yellow.
This one at Holmes?
Yeah, that one,
it's 5X.
this one right there, that,
Struck 39, Sonic Common.
no, we're not, Judge, we're not doing the Masonic,
Yeah, we agreed, I'd back off the argument on Masonic, we'd go with it, that'd be the four.
Okay, so we got this one,
You got Masonic,
Masonic.
you got the two in yellow, and you got the one in the middle.
okay, there we go, then we got our fourth.
Okay.
Is that okay with everybody else? All right,
If Judge Ison's good with it, I'm good with it.
okay,
Thank you, Judge.
and everybody gets, in each county, boost projects. So that comes up with our 10 highlighted in yellow. Now we'll put those into the, KYTC database tomorrow, and we'll boost those projects. We need a motion and a second on this.
Okay, got a motion on my, I'll make a motion.
Judge Ison's made a motion, to approve the 10 sponsored projects. Need a second on that.
I'll second it, Randall.
All right, thanks, Judge. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's approved. The next agenda item is, activities for fiscal year 2022. We don't need to make any changes to the bylaws. We made changes to those last year. One change I do need a motion on is, Greg, if you want to bring up the goals and objectives. Scroll down. If you go to goal 6. Goal 6, I've added in here into the goals and objectives, invest in sustainable transportation that protects environmental resources and minimizes the effect of climate change. I put in there because we're working with Danielle's group on the SIDS hazard mitigation plan. This language is also part of the transportation bill that Congress is debating. And like when you have flooded roadways and everything, that kind of elevates those out there. So I kind of put that language in there if it's okay with you all. So, we just need a motion on the goals and objectives, seconding on that.
I mean, motion, so we move.
Okay. Judge Ison's made a motion. Need a second on the, goals and objectives?
I'll second it.
All right. Thanks, Judge. I appreciate it. Motion approved. Everybody say aye.
Aye.
In other business, our next RTC meeting will be, November 23rd at 10 a.m. at the Jeffersonian. That will be our annual meeting, so look for details on that. I don't know if it's gonna be hybrid or we're just playing everything.
Right now, it's all by ear.
It's all by ear, so, just wanted to let you know about that. And, we just need a motion and for the adjournment on the, RTC.
Motion.
Judge Ison's made a motion, seconded on this.
I'll second it.
All right, thanks. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk at you later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Randall.
Randall.